You've embraced hard work and you achieved success. When it comes to your financial future, there's no leaving it to chance, but there is a lot to consider. Estate tax, market volatility, income tax, Social Security, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm Southwest Florida's financial planner, Alfie Townsend, and protecting and growing your nest egg is my business. Coming up on today's show,
tax planning strategies, a widow's story, understanding wills and trusts, and much more.
Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group. Alfie is a published author, radio show host, speaker, and industry leader.
why do you use an annuity? A lot of people use it for the wrong thing.
He works with retirees and pre-retirees to build and protect their nest egg and offers his experience to help those concerned about financial independence in retirement. If you've got questions about retirement, Saving the Investor starts now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Saving the Investor. It is great to have you with us on this Sunday morning. My name is Craig Wolf, and I am here with Alfie Townsend, certified financial planner professional with 30-something years in the business, that's all. Alfie, let's talk this morning. We don't want to start out on the topic that nobody really likes to talk about, but that is taxes. Yes. They are certain. And there's obviously a lot of different types of taxes. There are income taxes and estate taxes. Generally speaking, what do you tell your clients and prospective clients about tax planning currently and going forward?
So with the debt that we have, taxes have to go up in the future. They just, regardless, they're going to go up. We just know it. If you take a poll, 9 out of 10, almost 10 out of 10 will say, yes, they're going to go up. And they will go up. We're at a historic low tax bracket right now. So what we want to do is look at we have a program that we can show you if it's a right choice to do a Roth conversion. And it's something that everybody really needs to look at if you have a lot of IRAs. So who should do a Roth conversion? If you have IRAs and you're really not needing the required minimum distribution. So if you're needing the required minimum distributions to live on, then a Roth conversion might not be for you. But if you're not, if you're letting this money sit there and then you're going to have these required minimum distributions and you're not going to be spending all that money, we can show you that it might be a good choice now to do a Roth conversion. Start now on part of your money, on part of your IRA. Start to convert some of those to Roth IRAs. Now, why would you want to do that? One of the things, the main reason I would say is that down the road, if we have taxes go from, let's say, a marginal tax rate of 24%, if it goes up to 34%, 35, 40, we don't know what it's going to go up to. Back in 1979, the highest marginal tax rate was 70%. Right now is 37, the highest. So if you look at marginal tax rates at 70%, even back then, people said, well, that was for the real wealthy, but people were into 35%, that was middle class. So that's like our highest right now. So taxes most likely will go up in the future. So what we want to look at is, let's look at some Roth conversions, pay me now, so we don't have to pay later. See if it's something that makes sense for you. Estate taxes. Now, estate taxes right now, it's very high. So a lot of people don't worry about estate taxes, but things change. If things are changing, but while they're high, there's some estate planning we can do now. And we have an attorney that works with elder law attorneys that really put some great plans together for clients that have a tax issue. With a business, if you own a business, or different ways to really shelter some of that money for future. So we want to look at that. Even life insurance, if you might say, you know what, how can I create a pension for my spouse that's tax-free? Well, we can show you how to do that. It'd be a tax-free pension for your wife, taking money out of insurance policy. Sometimes we can make it where it's a tax-free benefit for you for future income. So there's a lot of things we can do. A lot of people, advisors don't know about planning techniques. They just really talk about one or two topics and that's their specialty. But as a certified financial planner professional, we have to look at the whole picture, and the whole picture is really taxes, even long-term care insurance. We have to look at everything.
I mean, I think most people agree that paying their fair share is the right thing to do, but it's also pretty easy to pay too much in taxes, and that can have a huge effect on your bottom line in retirement. Well,
you're not, it's not Congress sets the law of what you can do, but it's our job as consumers and taxpayers is to what we can do to benefit from the taxes that we pay. There's different ways to benefit. You're not doing anything illegal. What you're doing is you're doing your homework, and we're showing you options. And if you want to take that and say, what, I don't want to pay unnecessary taxes. I want to pay, like you said, pay my share, but I don't want to overpay, and that's what it's all about.
You mentioned pension before. That's a word that's almost lost on
it. Sure
people
is.
Under the age of, I don't want to throw a number out there, but most of the people of the younger baby boom generation and younger don't.
Yeah, so we have to create pensions for our clients.
Yeah, that was something your dad had, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great information to start out, Alfie. Thank you on this Sunday morning. Glad to have you with us on Saving the Investor. There's more to come, so stay with us.
You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters.
Are you interested in creating your dream retirement? Well, I have just the book for you. Unlike most books on investing, it doesn't require a large investment of your time. It's an easy read filled with valuable insights. So valuable, in fact, that everyone who's soon to be retired or already retired should have a copy in hand. And today, it can be yours for absolutely no cost. It's Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway, written by Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional, radio show host, and TV personality. Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway highlights real stories about actual people, illustrating what they've done wrong and what they've done right. The strategies in this book can help you make the right decisions and avoid costly mistakes. If you've saved for retirement, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway is a book you'll want to have, and you can receive your complimentary copy today simply by being one of the first 5 callers. Our number is 239-747-1080. That's 239-747-1080. So if you're interested in living your dream retirement, you have nothing to lose and quite possibly have a lot to gain. Call 239-747-1080. Your complimentary copy of Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway is waiting for you.
Well, I hope you're enjoying your second cup of coffee. I know I already had mine, but I want to talk this morning about change. And the older we get, the harder it is to change. I know I don't like change, but change is constant in our business, and change is necessary to stay ahead. And I'm going to give you an example. I love golf, and I changed not too long ago. I was reaching for the ball, and it felt great, but I just was not making the contact I needed. So I tried something different. I moved the ball closer to me, and man, I was hitting that ball like I never hit it before. But it felt uncomfortable, believe it or not, when I brought it in, but then I made great contact with it. So that little bit of change right there helped my game. Now, when it comes to your retirement, change might be necessary because you've been working and working, you're in the accumulation phase in retirement or right before retirement. You're still accumulating. And a lot of times in retirement, people have not adapted to the harvesting phase. So we have the accumulation when you're working, where you're saving, and then a true retirement plan is going to have the harvesting. You worked real hard. Now, how are you going to take the money out of these different accounts to start giving you an income? So that's a change, but sometimes it's necessary, especially in retirement, to make a change to adapt. And I say, one thing 2020 really taught us is adaptation. We have to adapt and make changes. We had to do it with our business, and we did it with our clients. And sometimes you have to really adapt to get that income that you need to make the change that's necessary to get you through retirement.
Ready to live your retirement dreams? Then it's time to meet Alfie, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review now. You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters.
If you're like most of us, you don't want more of your hard-earned dollars going to the government. But President Trump's tax cuts may be on the way out. And it's not just your income tax that could go up. President Biden's plan also includes increasing estate tax, which means the legacy you leave for your loved ones could be a lot smaller than you had planned. So now, more than ever, is a time for you to be proactive instead of reactive with your retirement planning. That's why you should call Alfie Townsend right now, before it's too late. Call 239-747-1080. Alfie is Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional, and he'll make sure that no part of your financial life is overlooked when planning for retirement, and that includes taxes. Find out what the new administration can mean for your retirement with help from Alfie, and he'll make sure that you're well positioned for whatever changes may come. Call Alfie now, 239-747-1080. Welcome to another segment of Team Talk. I'm Mary Thompson in studio with Alfie Townsend, our founder and president. Alfie, let's talk about a recent situation that you had where a new client came in and she was recently widowed, and her husband had been taking care of the finances all of their married life. And so that's a big pendulum shift, and it was a little bit overwhelming to her. Let's talk a little bit about how you guided her through that whole transition.
And not we'll definitely talk about her, but typically when people come in, a couple comes into the office, and it happens every now and then where the spouse will say, he takes care of everything, just talk to him. And I would hear that early on in my career, and I didn't know really how to handle it. But now what I tell them is bluntly, I said, listen, if we were all born the same day, you're going to outlive us by 7 years. I said, you need to understand this, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, talk to me, and I'll repeat it as many times as you need. I'll put it in different forms so you understand it, because you need to understand what's going on. So when she came in, this person came in, she was overwhelmed because her husband did everything, and she didn't know accounts, she didn't know what they had, and they had a substantial amount of money. They even had a big life insurance policy. I helped her get the life insurance policy. As beneficiary, put in her name, put in her account. We had to, the problem that she had was she didn't have any credit. They had money, but she didn't have any credit. So we had to establish credit for her with a credit card because everything was in his name. So it's so important when I look at couples, my job is to make sure that both husband and wife knows everything what's going on, and that's why we have meetings the way we do. And then I'm always asking questions to both of them, and I want to make sure that he knows what's going on, she knows what's going on. In this case, she came to the right people, because when she came over here, we helped her. One of the things, there was some credit card debt that was just in the husband's name. So what we did is we called the company, and we had to send a death certificate, and they erased that debt from her. They said, that debt's paid off. He had a lease car in his name. I told her, let's hand in the car. So she wasn't responsible for the card. For the car, because it was a lease. She wasn't responsible for the credit card. It was in his name. So there was a lot of things that we were able just to wipe out and sort of start over. So it was, we did some good planning. And of course, I had to, put a plan together. She was, stopped getting her Social Security. She started getting his Social Security. The pension, the only thing is he did not have a pension. So we had to create an income plan for her to get an income going to her, a pension, her own pension, and then invest the monies and, for, down the road. And she was concerned about legacy too for her kids. So what we wanted to do was make sure that we had it all set up where whatever's left over, her kids would get money.
There's a lot of moving parts.
It was a whole lot. Just talking about it, I was, it is. It's a lot of moving parts, and you don't want to do it alone. You want to,
That's right.
Get professional help.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alfie.
You're welcome.
If you'd like to make sure your financial affairs are in order, give us a call.
You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters.
Remember the Wall Street bailouts? Those same big banks and financial firms have been fined billions for misleading customers. And now they want to manage your retirement savings. Why would you trust them? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional. My values are Main Street, not Wall Street. As an independent advisor, I don't work for shareholders, I work for you. If you want a fresh start with a local advisor, give me a call today.
We all have a picture of our perfect retirement, but how do we get there? At Advantage Retirement Group, helping you get there is our business. We're passionate about getting to know you, learning your hopes and dreams. Why? So we can work with you to achieve them. How? By maximizing the money you've saved, minimizing the dollars you pay in taxes and the risk you are exposed to, and creating a retirement income plan that ensures your savings lasts a lifetime. We're thankful to work with so many wonderful people, and we'd love to work with you too. Call Advantage Retirement Group today for your no-cost, no-obligation evaluation, 239-747-1080. Your retirement is too important to put off. Call now, 239-747-1080. You've got questions, and Alfie has the answers that will keep you on the retirement fairway. I'm not quite ready to retire, but it's getting closer. Should I be considering rearranging my investments and assets?
That's a great question, because the closer you get to retirement, right now you're in what we call the accumulation phase. You are paying into your retirement plan weekly or biweekly, and it really doesn't matter with the market going up and down. Of course, we want it to always go up, but it goes up and down, but your dollar cost averaging it in there. But once you retire, now you got to take that money that you accumulated and now all of a sudden create an income from it. So that's called really the harvesting phase. Take the money that you accumulated and start taking money out of it. The best thing to do if you're about to retire, soon to be retired, come in and let us do an income plan and analysis of what you have to see if it's even feasible to retire. And if it's feasible, you're going to say, you know what? Hey, I can retire. And you want to retire with confidence, and you want to be aware if you can or can't. So make sure you get that plan before you make that final choice.
I'm 63 and my company just did a massive layoff. Should I retire now or should I look for a new career?
So you're 63 years old. There's a lot more I'd have to ask you, but basically is this: you're 63. If you're going to retire anyway, you probably have a 401k. Maybe there's a severance pay in there. So what we would want to do is set up an appointment. I'd review everything that you have, make sure your expenses are under control, and make sure you have a pension, make sure this money is going to last as long as you do. People are living longer and longer. And see if we can put that income plan and financial plan together for you to see if you're able to retire or if you need to stay in the workforce a little bit longer.
What can I do to protect the assets I'm going to pass along to my loved ones when I'm gone and make it an easier process for them in general?
So legacy planning is so important for some people, and some people it's not important for. It sounds like it is an importance to you. So one of the main things you want to do is, you're going to pass money on. You want to make sure they're named as your beneficiary. You might need a trust. A trust will bypass probate. It depends on, their ages. It depends on if you want them to get it in a lump sum. What I always say about a trust when you're passing monies on is that you control that money even though you're no longer here. it's still in control. And that's what a lot of people need, because, kids right now, if they get it too young, they're going to go through it. A lot of times they're going to go through it, and then all this money you work for and you wanted them to have for their retirement down the road, it's gone. So there's some planning that can be done, but a trust would be a good thing. We have IRAs would be, it's not the best thing to pass on, but because they have to take that money out by 5 years. But there are different plans that we can put together to give them that legacy that you're looking for them to have.
You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters.
When you're nearing retirement, it's important that your plan includes the proper steps to make an efficient and effective transition. There's a lot to consider. Will your income plan meet your lifestyle? How should you reallocate your assets? Is your withdrawal plan tax efficient? Practice does make perfect, but you only retire once. So how do you know you're making the right decisions and avoiding costly mistakes? Well, it's simple. Call Alfie Townshend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional. Alfie has more than 30 years of experience helping people just like you transition into retirement. So be one of the first 5 callers and get your complimentary retirement transition review. Call 239-747-1080. There is no cost and no strings attached. So call now, 239-747-1080. Your retirement transition review includes key deadline schedules, asset reallocation guidance, income plan analysis, and tax-efficient withdrawal strategies. Again, be one of the first 5 callers now, and this review is yours at no cost. Call 239-747-1080. You only retire once, so let's get this right. Call Alfie now.
Welcome back. We have a special guest here today. We have an attorney, Greg Nussbickle, and he's going to talk about wills and trust. And Greg, we have in the great state of Florida, one of the things I want to start with, everybody I feel needs a will, and most people need a trust, I would say. But a lot of people will come into our office and they have a trust or a will outside the state because, they're snowbirds and they're here full time now. Can you first talk about that, and then we're going to talk about other things about the wills and the trusts?
Yeah, absolutely. So we come across that a lot. We have a lot of snowbirds. It's not unusual for someone to have put together a will, maybe when they just got married or just started a family, and things are a little bit different now. The kids are grown, and especially if they've changed their residence to the state of Florida, we want to make sure that their documents reflect our laws, that they're current, that they're updated, so that they're going to have the most effect, that they're going to do what they really intended to do.
When you say documents, are you talking about like the power attorney and, durable power attorney? What's the difference between like a power attorney, a durable power attorney, advanced directive? You hear all these different sayings.
Yeah, and they're called different things in different places, and you'll have an agent here and an executor there and a trustee there. So it gets all confusing, but they mostly boil down to who you want to handle certain duties for you, to take care of your affairs if you're not able to do that.
Okay.
So a power of attorney is pretty common. That would be allowing someone to pay your bills and access your accounts and do things financially.
Someone that you absolutely trust.
Oh, that's key for all of these things here. And that's not always the easiest thing to determine, right? Especially if you've moved to a state where you don't have a lot of family around, or maybe people are aging. Sometimes what I'll recommend in that situation is to have multiple people working at once. So you can have a co-agent or co-trustees that jointly can handle this stuff for you.
Okay, so if you have a trust, let's say you have a trust, does that mean you automatically have a will? I know the answer.
Yeah, it's a good segue. Having a trust, the general kind of revocable living trust that most people are familiar with, is a way to avoid probate and not need a will, and that can be a great advantage. But you generally want a will in place to cover the things that weren't funded into that trust to begin with. So we call that a pour-over will, and it's really there just as a catch-all, just in case.
Okay, so there's different types of trust. You have an irrevocable trust, you have a family trust. What's the trust that most people that you see are getting?
The usual kind is the revocable living trust.
Okay, so you can make changes to it.
That's the beauty of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're free to make changes. You can get rid of it if you want. As long as you're alive and competent, you're the trustee. You're the one controlling it. You're also the beneficiary to begin with. So you really can just do whatever you want with your own assets. You use your same Social Security number. You don't need a separate tax ID. It's very pain-free, but it can be really powerful for estate planning.
So if you have a husband and wife, it's going to be, does she have a trust and does he have a trust? And it becomes irrevocable when one passes, typically?
That's usually the case, yeah. So in a state like Florida, you're going to see more of these reciprocal trusts where husband has one and wife has another. But they're just going to be mirror images for the most part. In other states, it's more common to have a joint trust. And most of these documents, each person is going to do their same so they can make whatever decisions they want as needed.
So the bottom line is if you moved here, you have an old trust or will, you might want to get it looked at, number one, and everybody should have at least a will, so your belongings will go to the people you want it to go to. But the best thing would be, sounds like a trust to bypass probate. So there's a lot of questions Greg answered today. If you have questions regarding a will or trust or legal documents, give us a call.
Ready to live your retirement dreams? Then it's time to meet Alfie, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review now.
Retirement gives you long-awaited opportunities. You finally gain control over how you spend your time. But you also need control of your investments, of your hard-earned money. There are a lot of moving parts, and just saving over the years is the first part. What about generating income, your Social Security, minimizing taxes, or managing risk? If you save for retirement, call us at 239-747-1080. Retirement can last more than 20 years, yet many people don't have enough money saved to get through 1 decade, let alone 2. Call us at 239-747-1080. Let us show you how to make your nest egg go the distance. That's 239-747-1080.
Mondo Uomo specializes in remarkable clothing for the remarkable man. Like our exclusive selection of Bugatti and St. Croix shirts and sweaters. Visit our store in Naples at the Village on Venetian Bay or online at mondouomo.com. Mondo Uomo offers a remarkable selection of the latest styles in menswear. Visit Mondo Uomo at the Village on Venetian Bay in Naples. Alberto, Bugatti, St. Croix, Zanella. Come see what remarkable shopping is all about.